Right behind me, I've got the 2026 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to MacMaster Orangeville for allowing me to review this Denali Ultimate. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the GMC Yukons here, the safety features that you do get with the Denali Ultimate model, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing on this. As for the models that you can get with the GMC Yukon, here are all of them. So these are the ones that you can get. And by the way, this is not the XL version. You can also get the Yukon XL. And here is a list of the safety features that do come with the Denali Ultimate, so you do get quite a few safety features. Now in terms of what powers the Denali Ultimate here, you do have the 6.2 liter Ecotec 3 V8 engine, which makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-foot of torque. Towing wise, you're looking at about 8,000 pounds, and fuel economy is about 16.6 liters in the city and about 13 liters on the highway. All right, let's start off in the front of the Denali Ultimate here. This thing looks very unique with all of the bits and pieces that it has. Now on the bumper here, you obviously have a body color bumper, but then you will notice this trimming right here, which stretches all the way across, is in like this nice black chrome trimming. Then you've got the chrome trimming here and then some openings down here. Also a sensor right there. And if I take a step back, you can also see the front safety sensors that do run across and the LED fog lights on the corners. And then you make your way into this beautiful grille. I love the designing on this. Everything just looks super clean. Even like the black chrome everywhere, it just looks so good. And even the GMC letters here, you have them in like this granite finish. And if you look very closely, you've got the nice designing on it as well. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but you can kind of see it there, similar to what you have on the seats inside. But yeah, you have this here and a front-facing camera right underneath. And then you move into these cool-looking LED front lights. I love the C-shaped designing here, and then you have your usual lights in the center there. Everything put together on this just looks very mean and aggressive. All right, well, coming to the side now of the Denali Ultimate, if you're unfamiliar with these, this is a 3-row SUV. As you can see, this thing is massive. And one thing that this does have is one of my favorite things to have on a vehicle is the dual pane panoramic sunroof. Always a good thing to have. And then up here, you can't really tell kind of with the snow, but you do have the chrome roof rails up top. And then around the windows, in the center here, you do have gloss black, but then more chrome along the bottom and the top portion there. Door handles are body color, but you also have chrome on them, which is pretty neat. And then as for the side mirrors, you do have them all blacked out. You have a turn signal right here and a side mirror camera. This has cameras all around, so I'm going to show you that on the touchscreen inside. Now over on the fender area, you do have another Ultimate badge right here with more of the black chrome trimming. Very nicely done with the badging. A Denali badge on the sides in chrome. And then if you look right here, you have more of that black chrome. Plus, this does have power side steps. So when I do open up the door, as you can see, also you can't see right now obviously, but at nighttime the side steps do have LED lighting. And then you move into these massive but also very nice looking wheels. You've got the granites going on, the aluminum's going on, and these are your 24-inch wheels. Yes, 24-inch wheels. How cool is that? Plus, if you take a closer look, it also says Denali right there. And if I take a step back, you can see with the size of this SUV, these wheels I think fit perfectly. Also up by the bumper on the side here, you do have the reflector. And another cool thing that this one has is the adjustable suspension. So I'll show you that control inside, but yeah, you can raise it and lower it, which is pretty neat. All right, let's come around to the rear of the Denali Ultimate. The nice looks definitely continue. Now on the bumper area, you have a few things going on. You do have this plastic piece here, and you will notice this cover in the center. If you do remove this, this is where your hitch is hidden away. And if you look way underneath, you do have a spare tire and a quad exhaust setup here. Also more black chrome trimming along with the reflectors, more rear safety sensors, and then you get into the tailgate area. So on here you have a chrome Yukon logo there, a Denali logo there, and then also the GMC one as well. And then by the license plate here, you do have two cameras. One is the rear camera, obviously the typical one, but then the other one is for your digital rear view mirror. And even here in between the lights here at the top, you do have more black chrome trimming, and then that flows into these super cool looking LED lights. Again, more of the C-shaped designing, and these also look very cool. I really like how they kind of stretch up top and the black chrome connects it to the other side. Now, if you move up to the glass area here, this does pop open separately than the tailgate. So on the key fob, if I just press the last one here, it's gonna unlatch the glass portion, so you can just literally lift this thing up and you can utilize this or open up the whole thing, or if you have things sticking out, this is very, very helpful. And once you do close it, you also have kind of like this spoiler built in at the top with a brake light, and your wiper is actually hidden away, so you get a nice clean look back here. All right, let's check out the back here. Let me open up the tailgate and show you what you get in terms of the space and all of that good stuff. So opening this up, this is a power opening lift gate, obviously. Now in here, since this is a 3-row SUV, the third row is up, and this is how much space you have. You still have a very good and generous amount of space back here for all of your family things or just luggage that you're going to be hauling around. Even here you have like these chrome protectors, which is pretty neat. And then on the side here you do have an outlet and then your seat controls. Now keep in mind, these are power seats, but for the second row, you can only fold them down, and for the third row, you can fold them down and back up. Now also, let me lift up the carpet area here because you do have a tiny bit more of space that you can definitely utilize. All right, let's head inside and take a look at what we get for the trims, the seats, all that good stuff. So opening up the door, you are hit with a black interior and the nice brown interior. So a mixture of both, very, very nicely done. So down here, you do have some room. You have some room in the middle here and a massive Bose speaker here. This does have the Bose sound system. You've got another small speaker up here, and then you get into this brown soft touch material with the nice X pattern stitching all the way across. And then the beautiful wood trimming here as well. Plus you have a bit of gloss black here. But yeah, I really like the interior on this since it's kind of like a black and brown and not fully one color. I really dig this. Now let's check out the interior. I'm gonna start off in the third row and show you what you get back there, the legroom, the headroom, and then I'll do the same thing for the second row. Now to get to the third row, it's very, very easy. You do have two levers here. So the first one here is to move the second row seat up and back. And then the second one is to fold it down and up so you can get into the third row. Or there's actually a very, very lazy way. There's actually a button that you can press. But let's say you want to use this, you can just pull this and the seat is going to come forward like this. And if I do it again, it's going to pop up. Or if you want to pop it up, you can also use the strap here and pull this. And then you get into the rear here. Even the interior on this, you have the nice subtle brown. It's not that brown that kind of pops out at your face. It's very, very nice. So even on the back seats here, you have the perforated back, bottom sections, the X pattern stitching, the normal stitching, the piping, everything looks very, very premium on this. Now let me jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom and what you get back here. All right, first off, before I put the seat down, I just want to show you the thigh support. It's not all that bad. I've seen 3-row vehicles where it's much, much lower. It feels like you're sitting on the floor, but I think this is very tolerable. Now in terms of the legroom, now this seat can be moved further up or even more back. Let's say it moves back up to here. I still have a good amount of legroom. And even though this has captain's chairs, I can even extend my legs here, which is pretty cool. And in terms of like being comfortable back here, honestly, I think for an adult, you could be fine back here. Now, in terms of the headroom, I have tons of headroom because this whole thing kind of goes into the roof. I'm wearing a hat. For reference, I'm 5'11", and I'm super, super comfortable and spacious back here. All right, so other things that you get back here is a cup holder area and a little bit of storage space. You also have a USB port back here, which is nice. And then if you look on the other side, you also have a USB port, which I love because you're not fighting with the people back here. All right, now let's jump into the second row and let me show you the seats, the legroom, and all that good stuff. So like I was mentioning, these are your captain's chairs, which I'm a huge fan of because you have space in the middle to enter and exit, or you can pop the seats down like I was showing you. But as for the seats themselves, these are very, very nicely done. Like here is that designing I was talking about on the GMC letters out front. So you have it here, perforated back, bottom sections, the contrast stitching, the X pattern stitching, the piping, very, very nicely done. Plus you do have your very own armrest because these are captain's chairs. Plus these seats do come heated, which is a bonus. And to add on top of that, you can also recline these seats. So now let me jump in here, show you the legroom and the headroom. All right, in terms of the legroom, it's not all that bad. I'm sure the driver's seat can be adjusted, so I have more legroom, but even the way that it's sitting right now, legroom is pretty good. And in terms of the headroom, again, just like the third row, no issues at all back here in the second row as well. Now, if you haven't noticed already, these do have the entertainment screens on both of the sides. So let me show you how those look and what you really can do on this. So right now the screen is off. If you just tap it, it turns on, or you can turn the power button right there. So this is the home page here. You have the web browser, HDMI 1 and 2, vehicle status. So on here, you can see the speed, fuel range, trip information, all that cool stuff. Under the headphones, you can connect your headphones or use the cabin speakers. And then lastly is just the settings section here. So you do have this to entertain the people, kids, adults even, back here. Also, behind the driver and the passenger seat, you do have hard plastic here. And then you do have a storage compartment here and the other side. And if you look closely, you have more of that nice designing on this as well. And then you move on to the rear console area. You've got more cup holders here with chrome around that, and this nice looking screen here for your heating and cooling temperature controls. So you can control all of that through here. Plus you have the second row heated seat controls there, USB ports and HDMI port, and then an outlet down there. Also, when you do step out, you do have this nice door sill piece that says Denali Ultimate. Very nice looking. Now let's head to the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear. So opening this bad boy up, the only thing I can really notice up here is much more space at the bottom. Now you don't have an extra speaker up here like you did in the back, but everything else is pretty identical, other than of course your typical window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. Now as for the front seats, these are identical to the second row. However, there are a few changes. So you do get the nice designing, perforated back and bottom sections, stitching, all that good stuff, right? But you also have a Denali Ultimate badge up here on the other side as well, plus your headrest house speakers. How nice is that? And if that wasn't good enough, well, the front seats do come heated and ventilated, plus you have a little massage feature. Now on the sides here, you do have all of your power adjustments, and if you press this button right here, this is to activate that massage feature. Down here, you have the same door sill piece, but just a little bit bigger. Underneath, nothing too crazy, just kind of like your premium looking foot pedals. Here is the hood latch release. And then moving up here, you have a ton of different things. You have all of your different modes here. And then here is the suspension that I was talking about to raise it and lower it. Here's the cluster dimmers, exterior lighting controls, trailer brake controller, electronic parking brake. You have your 360 camera setup here, traction control, parking sensors to turn them on or off, hill descent control, auto start stop, your park assist, and then the lane keep as well. Even around the venting here, you have that nice chrome trimming and the wood trimming. And for the steering wheel, this does come power adjustable. All right, entering inside here, your dashboard does have the hard material everywhere, plus kind of like this stitching here. You got a speaker here, speaker there, speaker in the center, and two more on the other side. Plus this does have my favorite thing, which is the heads-up display. And then you move into your fully digital cluster area. I really like how this thing looks. And this is an 11-inch touchscreen. And on here, you can view a ton of different information, and all of that is controlled through here. So you can see the screen like this, and if I press the button, you can also have a full map view. How cool is that? If I press it again, it changes to this. Again, it kind of goes to this here, and then you go back to this section here. So a ton of different stuff, obviously, that you can view here. As for the steering wheel, you do have soft touch everywhere. This does come heated. Plus you do have this here and this little guy here. And this is for your hands-free driving, and this monitors the driver. So on the steering wheel here, you have more of like this black chrome trimming that goes everywhere. And then on the left side here, you have all of your cruise control settings, follow distance. And here is how you activate the hands-free. And this is your lower gear. And then the other side, you have your Bluetooth, music, cluster controls. This is also the cluster area, your phone controls, and then the heated steering wheel control there. You also have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel there. And if you look closely on the paddle shifters, you do have media controls. And moving further back, you have your front and rear wiper controls, high beams, indicators, all that good stuff. And the other side, you do have your shifter. Now moving over to the center armrest area, more soft touch, the contrast stitching, X pattern stitching, and then you kind of have like this perforated middle section along with this very cool looking Denali Ultimate badging. And opening this up, you do have space here. However, this whole thing does move back because there is a button or a control right here. If I press up and hold it, this whole thing is gonna move all the way back, revealing a hidden compartment area. Not only that, you also have space inside here. Now, before I touch on the center console, I just want to show you on the side, you have more of the soft touch, the contrast stitching, plus you have space down there, and you'll notice that on the passenger side as well. Now on here, you have a ton of gloss black, plus the wood trimming on the sides there. And opening up the first section here, you do have your cup holders. Pushing back this section here, you have space here, plus this is a wireless phone charger, and you have USB ports. And then you get into your massive touchscreen here. This is a 16.8-inch touchscreen. And in person, this thing just looks looks ginormous. So first off, you have the venting on the side with the cool chrome everywhere, the nice designing, and then you have controls down here. So these will be your heating and cooling temperature controls, plus you have the heated seats, vented seats, all that good stuff is here. And then you get onto the touchscreen. So under vehicle status here, once this loads up, you will have your vehicle, and once you do go around it, you do have a bunch of different plus signs, and whatever you press, it will give you information about that particular area. You also have the maintenance section. So on here you have the tire pressure, brake pad life, oil life, engine air filter life, and then heading back you've also got the different gauges that you can see here. Heading back, lastly, is the trip information, so there's that. And then let's go back to the home page. You've also got My GMC, Google Assistant, Play Store, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and here are the cameras on this. So right now you have a bird's eye top view, and then it's facing the front. Now if I just click this, it's gonna face the rear, and then here is gonna be the top view of the vehicle, but the rear, and here same thing, but for the front. Here are the side cameras facing the front and then facing the rear, and here is the hitch camera. If I go back to this one, I can also turn on or off the bird's eye view there, but I like having it on. So this actually you can activate once you go into reverse. So if I just click it, it's gonna turn on the guideline there. And then if I do it again, it's gonna turn into like a straighter guideline for your trailer. Now let's exit out of this. There's also the trailering section here. So you can add a trailer, guest trailer, accessories, all that good stuff. And then you have your settings. So there's a bunch of different ones that you can kind of play around with and then customize to your liking. There's also the auto park assist, the climate. So not only can you control it through here for the front and rear, but for the front, you also have the bottom section. So I like how there's a ton of different variety of how you want to choose your heating and cooling. And then you have your Wi-Fi hotspot. There's also the recordings here, and then the audio section. So this will be your AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, and news. And then you have map section, obviously, Google Maps built in. Heading back, there's also the phone section once you do have it paired. Heading down under the control section, you have all of these here. So your heads-up display, blind zone, steering assist, power side steps, all that good stuff. There's also the entertainment hub, so you can play around with this for the rear screens. And then lastly is the news section. Now also you'll notice this little button up here. If I press this, you kind of have like this hidden compartment on top of the dashboard. Also, if you look on the side of that hidden compartment on the dash, you do have another Denali Ultimate badge here. Now moving up here, you have a rear view mirror, but if you're paying attention, this is also a digital rear view mirror. And then moving further up, you have a bunch of different things. So you have this button here because you do have a interior facing camera. Got the interior lights, your tailgate of how much you want to open it. And then this is for your third row to fold them down and up. You also got your sunroof, sunshade controls. And then this is also the sunroof control. And then this one here is for the center console. Plus you have the SOS and the OnStar. Here is the key for the Denali Ultimate. It's your usual GMC key. All right, let's head around to the passenger side and let me show you what you get on this side. So here's that space I was talking about along the sides of the center console. And then on the dashboard, you have this beautiful, beautiful wood trimming with more of that nice designing you saw on the doors, more of the brown here, and then your usual glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this Denali Ultimate. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?